Yes, you can. So this is my SQL code for the healthcare database. So we have the structure. Structure is let me say the structure is here. So we have several tables. We have healthcare facility table, laboratory test, patient data, resource, supply chain, treatment, uh, user facility, user role, visit record. So so this is our database for the healthcare, and these are our tables under which all the information concerning patients, doctors, staff, resources, tests, visits, everything is going to be inserted inside here, assuming we had the values. But for now, I'm going to explain the SQL codes. I came up with them. So, for example, the healthcare facility, we have its SQL codes. Wait, let me see structure. So, so under the structure, the name, the type of the name, the type data is obviously, let me say, let me say, so the facility ID, the data type for facility ID is integer, and we have set it to auto increment, and actually it is the primary key. Then we have the name, we set the data type to varchar. Location, data type is varchar. Type, data type is varchar. So I think we're good with the facility table. So we go to laboratory test, go to its structure. We have the test ID, which is the primary key, as you can see. Then we have the visit ID, it's a foreign key. Then we have the test type. We set the data type to varchar. Test result, we set the data type is text. Date, test date, the data type is date. We come to patient's table, patient data's table. Looking at the structure of the table, we have the patient ID, we have the name, we have the date of birth, the gender, the contact information, medical history. All these things I've just mentioned are like columns where you're going to insert the data for every patient. For example, patient ID is a column, name is a column, date of birth is a column, gender is a column, and so on. Their data types are as follows. For patient ID is integer, name is varchar, date of birth is date, gender is varchar, contact information is varchar, medical history is text. So we can insert in patient information into this table. Then we have resource. We look at its structure. You come to structure, and the structure is as follows. We have the primary key, which is the resource ID. We have the resource name, resource type, quantity. These are columns in which you have to put in values. Coming to the supply chain table, looking at this structure, we have the number of columns 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4 columns in which you have to insert values. The primary key is the supply ID, and we have the foreign key also, which relates the resource to the resource, and the foreign key is resource ID. It links these two tables together, means they're related in certain type of way. So we have the coming to our treatment record table. So we look at its structure, and the structure is as follows. We have 7 columns in which we have to insert values. The primary key for this table is the treatment ID, which is unique. You cannot find two values in this table that have the same number, the same ID. So that's why we call it the primary key. Uniquely identifies every value that is entered into this table. And we have the foreign key, which is the visit ID. References to visit records, meaning the two tables some kind of a way relate. Then we have the treatment ID, the treatment type. We set the data type to varchar, medication varchar, dosage varchar, start date, the data type is date, and end date, the data type is end date. So it's date. User facility, the structure, we have 2 columns, user ID and facility ID. Both of them are foreign keys and the primary keys. User role, look at the structure. We have the user ID, we have the role name, and the permissions. We come to the last visit record, which is our last table. It has 5 columns. Primary key is a visit ID, uniquely identifies this every value in this table. Then we have a foreign key, which is the patient ID, referencing it to the patient's data. So basically, this is just a brief explanation of my SQL code for the video healthcare database. So thank you. I would like to stop here.
Let me start mine.